with the legendary Leo Vieira, Professor Leo, master. Really, what an honor to have you here today.
Thanks for inviting me.
I've been following you since since I started doing jiu-jitsu, and I moved down to Brazil in like the mid '90s, and so like the sport TV, I would record. Like you had a finals in the Brasileiro with Paulo Guilobel.
Yeah.
And you did like omoplata and just some great techniques. And so people ask me, not I haven't compete now, but like who's your favorite jiu-jitsu guys, and you're always at the top of the list,
Thanks. I think everybody who started in jiu-jitsu back in the time, was special. Like it's a super challenge, and I think I was a super challenge because everybody who started that time was not Brazilian.
Mm-hmm.
You guys was so much in Brazilian culture, traveling so much to
Yeah.
Brazil, competing in those big tournaments.
Yeah.
You compete in a lot of Brazilian,
Yeah.
which is the toughest competition for us that live in Brazil. I could imagine it for all of you guys, and he was there doing pretty good.
Yeah. Really great time, amazing. Changed everything, perspective, everything changed.
Yeah.
Like for many people, right?
Yeah, I think that's the magic of a jiu-jitsu. It's a change people's perspective.
Mm-hmm. How did you start in? How did you find jiu-jitsu?
I thought it was kung fu. So like they was lying to me. I was 9 years old.
Uh-huh. 9 years
So
old.
fan of Bruce Lee movies. I think it was very popular, the Karate Kid movies back in the time. And as a kids in Rio de Janeiro, so martial arts is all these kind of movies. It was very popular, and I was remember that I was my father we didn't like was one of the things like he used to work so much, but one of the two things that we always do together was fishing and watching Bruce Lee movies.
Wow.
So when I had opportunity to fight, I was introduced as a kung fu. I thought because that was my father thought.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
when I went there, and I was jiu-jitsu. So for 1 week, I was just grappling for 1 week, no punching, no kick. I not really like it. But there is this girl, she was smashing me, so much. And then I was so frustrated. And then I was coming back at home, and my father never take me there because he was working a lot. He just asked me, how was the class? Did you like it, the karate? I said, no, I don't like it. But I didn't say never why the reason. The reason was because I was getting beat up for a girl, I said, no, but I said, you want to stop? I say, I will stop, but I need to pay back something. And I was come back next day. And the reality was like, she always was smashing me. But also I was like short, small from my group of friends. And then I say, okay, if he works with her against me, he's gonna work with me against the big guys. So, like I'll and then at that time, so I like it. Jacare was my professor. He was doing very good job with kids, and he was motivating me every day to be there. And I didn't stop. That was I never stopped.
Those were in the 80s, right?
This was 85, 84.
85. How was the scene? How was back in those days, it was like rare, right, to have kids classes for jiu-jitsu, right?
Look, I have a kid's perspective, So what I know that I was blessed to be with Jacare because he was a very big mentor, very like he has a very good jiu-jitsu background. He has but also his school was by, like he was physical education as
the degree
degrees.
Yeah.
So he was
Smart.
Like his class was designed for kids, even when it was a really tough. Like I don't teach the kids the way I learn. So I'm not gonna have.
It was like Fight Club days, huh? In those days.
Yes. Half class with a gi, half class no gi. Okay, now use your hands. Now
Porrada.
survive. Yeah. So they're not really looking to to get the school crowd or like a win tournament. They was looking to make you little warriors. You know? So that was
those are the days.
Same time as you got. You know? Yeah. So, but it was fun. Like for somehow like wasn't fun, but was a challenge. And I was that kid that I need that challenge. I was that kid that was no matter what I was doing, I was not feeling was not. I always have that feeling when I was a kid that I was not enough. So, and then being there in the fight was something that challenged me so much because it was something that take me so much from my comfortable zone, and was challenging me a lot. And I was not just over there to prove to me, but it was a challenge to prove to my coach, to my team, to my family, to people that was important to me that I was enough. You know, I can handle. So that's I think that was something that I stick so much with the jiu-jitsu, even when I didn't like in the beginning, even when I didn't like for sort of like times in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
The challenge to say to be feel enough, to feel important, to feel I can do it, I can handle, I can go over my issues. So I think that challenge was keeping me in all these different times in jiu-jitsu that I thought that I was oh man, I don't like it, I should have do something else. But so
how was the scene? Did they have any kids tournaments? Because they barely had adult tournaments at the time.
I remember it was like 1 or 2 tournaments per year, you know, like back in the time.
In Rio de Janeiro, the
one
central.
Well, I remember exactly. One was in Niterói that was very popular because the federation was there. The other one was in Copa Serrana, something in Teresópolis. You know, was something popular. That's what was like small, like a 1 or 2 competition as a kid, and not really like a belt or division. I remember that. I don't want to compete, of course. Like I was so nervous, you know. Like I have a lot of as a kid. I was a very like as a kid, like I don't feel confident enough, you know, because of the the lifestyle or maybe like the situation that I was back in the time. But that I think of that jiu-jitsu helped me too because taught me overcome and find the balance in my life and feel like confident. But I remember the first competition, Jacare was telling me, hey, we're going to have competition like next week. So I was nervous, of course, but I still training, like nothing changed. But the day that he was driving to pick me up, I was in my home, like praying for, maybe he's gonna be late, maybe he's not gonna be coming, maybe he's gonna be late, and he was on time. And then we was driving all the way to the tournament. Like, maybe they don't have competitor, maybe I'm not gonna have somebody to fight. And I was there. I find like he gonna like let's say like no bracket, they're gonna fight. Okay, let's kids looks okay, same weight. Let's put it into fight. And I have always 2, 3, 4 fights, which was nice because I, even was against what I want. Was building a lot of my personality. And I think was very important to face the fears that I was facing that time as a kid.
Yeah. Wow. Are there some of the kids that you competed that he's still around?
No. Like sometimes I thought this. I remember my kids class. Like the kids that used to train with me. Of course, I wasn't the best for my kids class. But I was the only one that I didn't stop. And that's what jiu-jitsu does. It's a resilience, right? And I was one of that. That other kids that I was like struggling. That I remember there was a kid that was super talented, but those kids class that used to compete, that used to train with me as a teammate and a partner, they all stopped.
What about in the tournaments, like the people you competed against?
Like that's funny because like as a kid, I not really like don't remember. I know it was a target. I was not like kids nowadays.
Yeah,
they know names. Last names. They have an Instagram. They know like
videos,
they have
YouTube.
But they have even like a schedule to compete. Back in the time, I want to be a soccer player. I don't want to be a jiu-jitsu. And I was doing jiu-jitsu because it was something that I was part of my life because I like it. My parents understand that it was part of the discipline of myself, and it was I enjoy, and but competition was not really like looking who it is. Like even I started looking to who was competing, like what's like looking people when I was already purple to brown belt. Before this, I'll not really know. Like I just going to competition, no matter what, no matter who's facing over there, I just want to win. So now I was really looking who it is.
For the love, for representing the team, and
I think it was those clicks that give in the sport. Like that some clicks that are okay. That's it's a lifestyle, it's a hobby, and then clicks. Okay, so that's now maybe something will be more like advanced. Now I want to take it more serious, and that the clicks and say, okay, now I want to be more professional, and then more you're clicking to get professional, it's more interest, it's more like knowledge. You're gonna be learning more things. So this doesn't start until purple belt for me.
The scene, like I remember back my days, like you would show up 8 in the morning and you would wait. People complain now, oh, they're 30 minutes late or a few minutes late. You would show up in the morning. You wouldn't know when you would go, right? And you would compete sometimes at 8 p.m. at night.
Oh yeah. That's and he was competing in outside in the parking lot. Parking lot, put those mats, those old mats,
wherever,
like, smelling so much.
The canvas, with the
sometimes it rains. Sometimes
it
rains. Sometimes it was too hot. They have to come in the water and. And then sometimes rain, then everybody jump in the car, wait for the rain goes out, they come back to the fights again, and oh my God, man. That was like, I think one of my first like indoor competition, I was like a purple belt. Like before this, I was all in the parking lot.
Did you ever imagine that jiu-jitsu would grow like it has all over the world, and even your students and students of your students representing from all over the world, literally?
No, I never thought that would be big.
Yeah.
I think part of my like the perspective that I have as a kid and like my first click as a jiu-jitsu can be something for me when I was a purple belt, like I said. The reason why was my father worked in the building as a super, so open, closed door, driving car, fixing things in the building. So it was a pretty hard
like maintenance,
job.
Like management,
Yes. He worked basically like from 10 a.m. to 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. all day. And when we have a very small apartment in the building, because he have to be working the whole day, 24/7. If something happened that night, he has to be the one. And so, like, because of this, we was a very like in my school was in public school, and it was almost inside of the favela over there in Cantagalo, which a lot of friends that I make a lot of friends and projects with jiu-jitsu. But back in the time was my school, so and that's I think all my feelings that was came in because of that, because I was leaving the building, and when I was going to the other the schools inside the favela, so people from the community, he doesn't see me as one of them. He say, "Oh, what are you doing here? Because you live in the street, you live in the building, so you're a playboy, you live over there. Why you coming here to our school? You don't know nobody, you don't live here with us." And like I was having issues to be a friend with them, and I have issues to be a friend sometimes with my friends in the street, because everybody, was people who live in the building. My father worked for his father, and the kids always talking shit, so sometimes it was like bullying on these, and then I think part of my feelings was because of that. But when jiu-jitsu was growing and I was getting more confident in training, so it was helped me to fit in those two different groups, because also jiu-jitsu became popular, and then like competitions, and like the kid, and later those kids also start training, and then I was one of the instructors. So they start becoming close to me, and then help me to become friend of them. So, and I combined those two different words together because of the jiu-jitsu, you know. And then, but back in the purple belt. So my father told me, look, you have to work. So I was working always with a small job as a kid, but as a 17 years old, he said, look, you're gonna find a real job for you. You're gonna work in the building, the same thing. I'm gonna be washing, like everything, right? And then I stopped to do jiu-jitsu. That's when Jacare came to me and said, why are you missing class? Say, I have a work, I have to help. So it's three brothers, me and two more brothers. Right, so I'm the oldest, so I have, so a lot of pressure on me because whatever I do, the other's gonna do. So I have to work, so I cannot train as much as before. And then he said, but how much money are you making on that? And then I said, I remember how much it was. And he said, okay, I give you exactly this money for you come to the jiu-jitsu training and help me to teach. That's when my first click that I say, oh, I can do this. Because one thing that grew up in Ipanema, as a kid, you don't want to go to nowhere. You want to live in Ipanema. It's such a nice neighborhood. You cross the street to go to the beach. You walk into the academy. You walk into the school. I walk into the beach. I don't want to go nowhere, So, and even when I love my father and everything, I see how much he works so much to live in the nice building. All my cousins, they don't have the same opportunity because the parents doesn't work, doesn't have the same job as my father. So they always living in Rocinha, which is another big
favela, the biggest favela in South America. Yeah.
Or in the countryside of Rio de Janeiro or Paraíba, where my mom and my father was. So they didn't live in the nice neighborhood. So that was the first time that I say, oh, I find a way that I can live in Ipanema, but with my professor's lifestyle. He come in the morning, riding bike, teaching class, eating banana and papaya with requeijão, and then they ride a bike, go to the beach. I said, that's the lifestyle I want, And that was the first time I said, okay, now I know what to do. So that's when I say, okay, that's what I want for my life. And that's what my decision. And I think all my brothers came in the same direction. And then then when I move, I get out of the building, I move to the academy, I start teaching since I was a purple belt. Wow.
Your brother Rico, one of my favorite match, I think, still, the finals of the black belt against, I forgot his name. Robinho Mora.
Yeah. But that was
and you in the corner
because there was a history. It was
and he already won a few all the black belts, yeah.
The story behind that's nice because it's something that doesn't happen so much. The first competition was my brother was a blue belt. He win the blue belt. Robinho win the black belt. 96.
Yeah. The first worlds.
And Robinho was submitting everybody. 97, my brother, he win the competition in the purple belt. Robinho win in the black belt. In the next year, my brother win as a brown belt. And Robinho as a black belt. The next year, my brother came back as a brown belt. He didn't win as a black belt. And that's something if you do this in generation today, you lose a student. Because people want the belt so fast, they lose.
Right.
But my brother, we knew that technically he was but you want to your athlete also mentally. So we hold him one more year for he be mentally ready for that fight. So he win again as a brown belt. And Robinho win it again as a black belt for 4 years consecutive. So the next year,
2001,
they fought in the semi-final. And the reason the federation make that fight as a final, supposed to be the final, it's because the other side of the bracket was Robinho's training partner. So, and in their mind, they say, okay, so he's going to beat Rico. We're not going to have a final. So let's make the semi-final be...
Because everybody closed the brackets back in those days.
Exactly. But the thing was my brother beat him, and there was a shock, And then then he came back to fight he came back to fight for the final again later, you know. But that fight was the semi-final. But everybody, but it was the final.
It was the
regarding
final,
like
yeah.
the biggest name. Yeah, but it was a shock. It's my brother
Shocked
was
the world.
yeah, my brother was the one that also I think pushed so much of my style and my game because honestly he was the guy who was like, even when he was lighted, he was the guy who have been pushing me so much. That struggling his guard and like helped me to develop so much in my game.
I remember reading a bunch of articles and things, interviews with him, like around that time or a little bit after, and he would always, you were his inspiration. You know, always he's on Leo because of Leo, and you see, of course, you see you in the corner like going crazy.
Yeah, we grew up together. I knew it exactly like what mentally he needs, you know, because like I said, like he was ready, technical and performance needed like mentally. So I knew it exactly what he has to hear sometimes, you know, and not something about technical. It's just about like remind things that are
mindset.
exactly.
Yeah. You know, you were talking about Jacare, Romero Cavalcanti, not the Jacare from UFC, you know?
Oh, yeah, it's true.
Right?
It's
the OG, holds Gracie, direct lineage, holds Gracie.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. Everybody sometimes confused. Exactly. It's important.
And then he started like Master, right? Master, the team was Masters at the beginning. Something like that.
Yeah, before it was only Jacare when it starts.
Right.
And then Master was, he combined the academy with Fabio Gurgel.
Okay.
You know, because Fabio was Fabio, Traving, Alexandre Paiva. Those was the first, like, their black belt. They leave and open their own school. Striking and Federal, Fabio Gurgel. So, and then Master was like Fabio and Jacare together. And then later was Alliance when they combined like a lot of all Jacare students plus some other Silvio and Castelo Branco, Vinicius, some other guys who wasn't Jacare black belt but came together.
Yeah, you see like those old videos of the house, like Enzo's dad's house, you know, where they used to do the fights, you know, and then he's doing a kids program in Ipanema, right? the Fight Club days.
Yeah, Fight Club
Full
days,
on.
exactly. Like
Fight Club kids classes. Leo Vieira came up in that.
I remember like sometimes Jacare, my Romero, he has always have I think he has already like the same protocols when someone show up in the gym. You know, he would say, "Hey, welcome. That's Jiu-Jitsu." People has no idea what Jiu-Jitsu is. Do you know what Jiu-Jitsu is? No. And then say, "Yeah, that's the real martial art. Something happened over there in the street, so that's what you should know." And then he always challenge it. Doesn't matter who was. He wants to challenge it. Doesn't matter if somebody was like, somebody was the delivery guy dropping something, or if somebody really looking to something.
Challenge,
he was all in challenge everybody. Do you want to try? You want to try? You can try right now. Look, I have those kids class. I'll choose one of the kid. You can punch and kick, do whatever you want. They're only gonna do jiu-jitsu. I promise. He's not gonna hurt you. And then like I knew it. That when I saw someone that he's speaking, I already knew it because I'll be the one. You know.
To take care of the challenge, one fighting with him.
But you know why, right? Because everybody over there paid in school. I didn't pay. So if something happened with me, you know. So I knew that's and later I realized why he always choose me. What I got it, maybe understood that, okay, so I have like I'm the one that will bite and go fight. I don't know.
You're probably being smaller too, right? Like made them like, whoa, this stuff works.
But this was, I guess, adults. I'm not talking about kids with kids. I'm talking about like a grown man go on the mat, fight against a 14 years old boy, and like and no gloves. Oh, you gonna put the gloves? No, you don't need to put the gloves, but you can punch. You can like the guys couldn't really punch me, you know, and like, but we lucky that nobody know the double leg back in the time because that was saving me a lot. But take a lot of the time for taking them down, you know, and like and I remember every time was that, you know, it was me. And then later on, I was like, why just me? And then later I said, okay, it makes sense because I was the one that There was they have the scholarship over there. If something happen, will happen. But good thing that good thing that always work pretty good. I remember the kids love because Jacare was sitting down, everybody around, and then we was the channel was always in the middle, you know, and all the kids, you know, was cheering for me, of course. Let's go, boy. And then I was there fighting, and then I remember end up always I'm taking the guys back and choking the guys that don't know how to tap.
Yeah, yeah.
Some,
Take them out.
some of them, they want to stand up and jump on my back, you know, because they want to get out of there. And I was choking pretty fast because I don't want to, they jump on my back. And then like always they were so embarrassed. Of course, Jacare never signed, he never signed those guys in the
Up,
class.
yeah.
You know, but he proved his point. And make all the kids, everybody else, so entertainment.
I mean, those were the days of the Gracie Challenge, right?
Oh yeah.
And to show the effectiveness of jiu-jitsu that it works, right? It was before the UFC.
Yes,
It wasn't until the UFC in like 1993 and 4 and whatever.
Yeah, but I think I think the jiu-jitsu has a different phase. And that was the important for that time.
Yeah,
It was the time that you was building like the martial arts.
yeah.
You was building like the efficiency of the martial arts. So you have to prove that way. There are not another way. If you was to prove something, you must to prove that. And then with UFC, and then open all those opportunities. That's when they say, okay, now, okay, they came into the time. Okay, let's become a sport. Let's live from this sport, and they make this sport become very fair, because I don't see any other sport fair as jiu-jitsu. So you fight with someone, then your group of age, your weight division, your level, your skills level. So it's, you know, and the rules protect you in your. So it's a very good environment. It's a family environment. So
How far was Jacare's school from your house, your apartment?
I cross one street, was like a walk
Across the street, pretty
same
much.
block. That's what he invited me, because he lives in my neighborhood, my building, and my father work in the building. So he was asking my father to do some stuff. My father was buying like fruit, like or helping him with somehow. And then when he opened the gym, and that he say, hey, Manuel, I'm opening a kids class. I'd like to see your kids over there. Your kids are always in the street, like they're always fighting over there. I think maybe it would be good for them, you know. So, and my father thought was kung fu. He talked to me, hey, you want to do kung fu? I said, yes. Okay, let's go.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's the start.
Wow.
So we are always like, this make our relationship get big. So Jacare was always like a father, like a very respectful, you know, like
jiu-jitsu
very
dad.
close to my family. Yeah.
Wow. Just because of the situation, right? All your family living in different places on the outskirts of Rio, and because your dad worked at that building, you guys lived there, and then one thing led to another. You met Jacare. Your dad met Jacare.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I think today I understand that was the sacrifice that my father did, you know, because he have a lot of brothers who had the same opportunity, came from the countryside, work in the building, but everybody was doing exactly the same thing. Everybody was working. Everybody was working for such a period, making some money, buy a land or buy something, and back to the countryside to live their life, you know. But my father did the opposite. So he not the opposite, but my father make different. So he went to the place, and he stay as much possible to give. He sacrificed his happiness to come back to his hometown. So he didn't came back. We was traveling every year for 1 month. In his vacation, but he sacrificed to be there as much possible to keep 3 kids in a good environment. But was because that he sacrificed that day. So we became like jiu-jitsu. We went to school. We went to a good school, college. We learned different language. We traveling, and was able to even help them even better, as with the other option. So like that's today I look very when you look behind, and it was like kid's perspective, but today I'm 48, so it's a different perspective. You look things in your life, and you didn't understand it before, but you understand so much right now.
Wow. And then, so you purple belt, you're like, I can do this. And then you started to set your goals. They started to have the worlds, right, in 96, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And you were purple belt what year?
I was brown belt in 96.
96, okay.
And my first black belt was in 97.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, what?
And you had the like your featherweight and lightweight, and you had the stack divisions, always the best best guys in
Yeah,
those divisions.
But like I was a soldier, like I never see myself like I never see myself, and my coach was not encouraging me to be like, okay, you are featherweight or you are lightweight.
Yeah.
So Jacare was like, you want to face this guy, you want to fight the guy. So because my point was like, I know jiu-jitsu, and I know jiu-jitsu more than everybody else. So that was my point. I want to prove my point. And Jacare was saying, okay,
you're representing the team, representing him.
And but I was a soldier. Whatever Jacare tell me to go, I go. So he was there. Like sometimes he'll say, okay, you go in the featherweight, I go in the featherweight. Oh, I go in the lightweight, I go in the lightweight. Naturally, I was a light, like a feather, but easy feather. But because I like to eat so much, I was a light. But not dropping weight for light. I was okay light. And then I moved, and then I was going to middleweight,
Right.
medium heavy
Like
sometimes.
that Brasileiro was middleweight, I think, with
Exactly.
Paulo Guilherme.
Yeah, exactly. That competition was because, like I said, Jacare would say, hey, look, you already fight with those guys, pretty good. So the biggest name right now, it's Nino. I want you fight with Nino. I said, okay, I go, I fight, And then I went there to compete, to fight against Nino. But of course, you have a lot of other good guys. Nino was the name, but it was a lot of Guilherme, Rizada, was a lot of guys back in the time. And then we fought. Then we started competing, fighting so much. And then like in the was in different bracket, Nino and I. And there was in the semifinal, Rizada win. I think in the quarterfinal, Rizada. Nino win Rizada, but Rizada had Nino in a very strong leg lock, and then he hurt. He didn't came back to the semifinal against Guilherme. So Guilherme went directly to the finals. So I fought with, I think it was Brigadeiro in the semifinal, and then I fight with Guilherme in the final. Yeah, but Jacare was pushing me, shifting me to different division, open class, just to challenge. Because I like to challenge myself, and he like to see there. As a professor, you like to see, like you like to test who you have. So he was pushing me to different.
Wasn't about the titles. Wasn't about it was about you facing the best guys to see who you were.
Never was about the title. I'll tell you why. Because I have no medal. I don't have one medal for my life, for my competitions. I never. Always, I just fought. I got a medal.
Saying from coming from an IBJJF black belt world champ, ADC 2-time ADCC champ, coming from
the only trophy I have, it's a 2005 ADCC trophy. The reason why, because I gave the trophy to my wife. We was dating back in the time, but we gave it to my wife, and then she saved and she gave back to me. But all my medals I was always giving to someone that I was the person who was more important than us or to me in that competition, that camp. Because for me, remember,
you're representing the give
was
like
there be enough? Remember to the issues to not feeling enough. Proving my point is like, okay, I'm gonna have more jiu-jitsu than everybody else. So that was my point. So I wasn't there to win or lose. I was there to give my best. So medals was for me was consequence. So win, lose was part of my self-development. So, but I don't want to see nobody I couldn't see nobody that can have more jiu-jitsu than I. So that's why if you see, all my fight was very high speed to scramble, because that's when you test your jiu-jitsu skills, because it's fast decision you do. So that's why I'm pushing so much. So I lose fights. Most of the fights that I lose those fights, always when people came up with a strategy to hold on, hold this. And then I don't mind. People say, oh, you don't get mad when you lose. Like they stalling a lot and they give the fight to the other guy. You're supposed to win that fight. I said, I don't care because I'm not there for the medal. I there to prove. If I'm good enough to make you stall in my game, I prove my point. The only thing would be matter for me if you have more jiu-jitsu than I. If you surprise me as like something that I don't understand. If you increase your speed, that you make me feel lower belt. That's gonna bother me. But if you have to use the strategy to beat me, part of the game. But that prove my point. The point is like I know more jiu-jitsu than you, and then you have to stop me,
Man,
which is okay. The strategy works, you know, and I don't. There are no
Sure,
point against
sure.
it. It's just like I think everybody fight for some to prove some points. Those was my point back in the time.
To show your jiu-jitsu was
Yeah,
was where it's at. Yeah, it's great, right? Like I remember talking to Solo, and he was like the first guy to do like strategy and tactics, you know, in the tournaments, you know, in the early days, you know. But now everybody does it, right? It has to be part of the
yeah,
game,
because of this, you have to find a balance between like a performance and like, but strategy always was the target, right? So you have to have a performance, you have to have a strategy, so you know the direction you want to go. But you know, like, and then and that's I think is a nice with the jiu-jitsu because it can be very unpredictable. You know, even when there's a good guy, like if you come up with the good strategy, can you know like then you can change it, and that's nice. But like I was just like maybe I was just too young, or my professor that was his pushing to my mind when I was getting, you know, in the competition. Later on, like I said, like that when I start understand about strategy, and also because I started getting being old, and then you're not faster anymore. You're not strong anymore.
16 anymore.
And then like the strategies, the timing teach you so much. You know, and the jiu-jitsu that I do right now, it's totally different than the jiu-jitsu that I used to present in 2005.
Yeah. Man, the strategies and tactics. I was gonna ask you about just the vibe, the energy. You know, like for example, like you and just the things you're talking about, the pure jiu-jitsu, and just you know, for example, like Johnson Gomez at this last Worlds, and just the people going crazy, like Terere, the kids cheering, and it's always like the vibe. You know, that's like the vibe, like. Leo Vieira, that's the vibe, you know. It's like a happy. It's like go for it, you know. And the pure, like for me, it's like so pure. You know?
No, that fight was unbelievable, right? So it was amazing. But you know, Jansen, it was those guys that you know, like physically strong, disciplined. But like I said, like mentally. So I have to make sure that they mentally ready. So. He called that fight. It was not something that I say, hey, why don't you go to the middle class? Because that's the hardest division right now.
Tainan and doing undefeated black belt.
Exactly. So he was the one that called that fight. When someone call fights, you have to make sure that man something fighting up, right? So he called that fight. Say, Leo, I want to do this. These words, I want to do this division. But the whole process that was a mentally process that was he came because he was before that he was offered 2 years training so much in Brazil in California. He never he didn't see his family. And you need like a reason why. So his first year as a black belt, he didn't perform that good, and I knew it that can happen. I always tell to all the black belts takes about 2-3 years for you figure out what kind of like a black belt, like to establish like your black belt, because to find out like division, to find your speed, to get confidence, because 3 years is the cycle in every belt. Somebody good, they move, so you don't face that guy. Right. You're good, you move, but in the black belt, they know where to go, so you can change division, but everybody over there. Somebody will quit, somebody will stay. So I say 3 years gonna give you, like, you're gonna help you to, it's something that
see
mentally,
where you're at,
So his first year, he was injured. He was like, and tried to find his spot, and he was did have a good performance, but not the one that I want. At the same time, has like some mentally like stress with his visa or the process. So when the awards finish the first year, I told her, I say, hey, go to Brazil, see your family. Say, no, I go in December. I say, no. Let's make a break in the competition. You have to fix your injuries. Go see your family. Gonna be nice. But I knew at that point what I want. I want he go back, go to the Cantagallo, see his old friends, family, and then he understand why he's doing what he's doing. All his sacrifice to be away from the family, to be over like for 2 years without see the family, the sacrifice for something. So I want and he went there.
Find his why, yeah.
He spent the 6 months. He fixed his injury. He was training over there, and he come back next year like totally different mentally. And then when I hear the funny thing, because we didn't have those deep conversation. We have some conversation, but not deep like sometimes. And then during the podcast, he was saying to some people, yeah. So over there, I find, like, I see, like, my family. I was happy. I come back to competing again. I was happy to compete it again. And that's what you want. That's the mentally you want your athlete. So then he came. He said, Leo, I want to fight in the middle because if I want to fight with Tainan, if I don't fight with, with him right now, like, that's a good timing. And I know for him make that weight because he's not heavy. He fight as a medium heavy, but he's not top of the medium heavy. So I know he can make it. And for he do it, he has to train as much, and then he trained a lot of discipline, conditional training. And he went there very like, mentally ready, physically. He did a very great performance, 2 fight, 2 submission the first day. I knew the fight with Tai Hodolos would be one of the biggest fights. The game is very similar. There's no defense. It's always counterattack. Whatever you want, you attack. Somebody in your back attack. So I knew there would be a crazy scramble because of the style. And also I knew that with Tainan was be like more as lapel game, like because we kind of read pretty good the game skills. That's why he was really ready for that fight.
Yeah, amazing. And the energy. Going back to the Cantagallo, like how did the gym start? How did that get going?
Inside the Cantagallo?
Yeah.
The project starts over there with Terere and my brother, right? So, like, our relationship starts always because me and my brothers was part of the
neighborhood.
Yeah. So, Jacare also started open class when I became purple belt. He said, Leo, let's open a kids class. I say, okay, can I invite some of my kids? And then if I start getting people from the Cantagallo to training Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
So and Jacare was
and he was one of the kids.
Terere wasn't one of the kids. He started with Ratinho.
Okay.
He started with Alexandre Paiva.
Okay.
So
that's right.
My relationship with Terere starts when I moved to São Paulo, and then Fábio to work with Fábio Gurgel. Fábio didn't have a competition training class. He have like a lot of good students, but not like high level competitor. And I was by myself, 20 something years, but in a high peak, that was my competition. So I need to figure out how to keep myself training. So Fábio was not training as much. Even when he was going like 3 times a week, so training, but he has his private life too. So we don't have a competition class. So, and when I get on my apartment, I was starting bringing like people to come and stay with me training for camps. I was going to every weekend. I was driving to Rio de Janeiro to training. So that was the first year was tough because driving every weekend. Later on, like I rent an apartment, and that's when I brought Terere and Léo Negão. Léo Negão was another guy, my friend, 2 purple belts, but one was big and strong, Léo Negão, which was a good like a old like Carson Gray style. This guy like a training with Valide, so he was
top
like
game,
top game, tough, whole like stalling. So that was good to one game, and the other was tererê, was very dynamic, purple belt, bring all different kind of positions, you know, like very fast. So I brought them to live with me, you know, and then they was the first like a camp that I do myself, a camp, you know. So they grew up so much because they learned jiu-jitsu with me. They live with me. They also learned jiu-jitsu with Fábio Gurgel. So they had a very good experience, and I was paying for this. So they not just, oh, I'm gonna leave. So they was, you know, getting paid for that, and that's when I started the relationship. And because Tererê was the first one to leave the favela, the Cantagalo, and open opportunity for him in São Paulo and traveling the world and be a competitor. He was already good in jiu-jitsu, but over there it was really open the opportunities. Make a lot of sense because my brother was there in Rio, and Tererê, with his name, they open up like a project inside the Cantagalo to bring kids to compete and training, to start a project, you know. And that's the way you start the project over there. So then a lot of kids, a lot of people training. And then the relationship between the Cantagalo and my brother was just growing up quick, because also my brother was the one later, he brought the school in Ipanema, so he became the owner of the school. And he opened even more classes as a free class for kids who have a good behave in the favela. That's what came Alan Fifo, Jackson Souza, so all those guys was good talent that was training inside the project first, and then they got opportunities to be training with the competition training in Ipanema, you know, and this, the project was later on the project became two projects, became like, but the good thing that they never stopped, so the kids still training till now.
Yeah, I went years ago. I went down and I went with the showy roll guy, videographer. So we got to meet with Rico, and he gave us a tour. And we got to go early morning. He taught an early morning class, you know. And he had the master logo from back in the day, just to give homage, you know, to Jacare.
Yes.
You know, which is cool. And he explained that, and then they gave us a tour and showed us the gym or the mat in the favela, you know, the Cantagalo.
Because of that school, original was the Jacare school.
That's the same location.
Not the same building, but
okay.
the same
area.
The same area.
Yeah.
So that was original was the Jacare school, and then Jacare moved to Atlanta. So I was one of the head instructor, also with Fábio Gurgel's brother, Fernando Gurgel. So he was the black belt teaching back in the time, with help with the other black belts. But we was handle the academy back in the time. And then later I moved to São Paulo. So the school was with Fernando Gurgel, but also my brother and Comprido. Yeah, and then later, like Fernando Gurgel, he has like his, it was just part of his job. He have a work with different things. So then my brother, he buy the school, you know, and then he was running like, he running the school by himself. And that's when like,
keep it going.
Yeah,
it's cool. I saw Megaton over there. He's like, he's not going to the Gracie Mata. He's like, don't tell anybody.
And you tell him.
I'm sorry. It's years ago, so it's okay now. But just well, they felt at home, you know.
Yeah,
felt at home.
And also it's like, you know, like it's about location. Like I think if you travel very back in the time, you're gonna see these are very
for
like
sure, for sure, of course.
If you face each other before the club fight, when the club fight is gone, you know, like, and then became the jiu-jitsu area. So, and his location is such a nice location. 1 block to the Ipanema, 2 blocks to Ipanema, 1 block to the Copacabana beach. It's very good location. Easy go training, walk to a good restaurant, go to the beach, relax. You go training and then you walk.
Paradise.
So
Paradise.
It became a meet point for a lot of jiu-jitsu guys, you know, like that in Ipanema or Copacabana. It became a meet point for all teams, not really like with that. Even the way my brother was running the class, we have like the competition class, but the school was very open to everybody else. So
it's very welcoming, very welcoming, very nice, great jiu-jitsu.
Tourist location, make it, you know, open opportunity to everybody can meet, you know, and respect and like training.
Rio is your home city, but you've traveled around the world. Do you think it's one of the most beautiful cities in the world? Besides the crime, of course,
Yeah, it's beautiful. The city is beautiful. Yeah, like I, I have been traveling a lot. The city is very beautiful. It's the like driving to you have the
Mountains, the
lagoa, the
jungle,
mountains, jungles, and the beach, and then like it's
special.
It's
really.
it's very the side's very beautiful. Very beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. I always thought it was one of the most beautiful cities in the world.
Yeah.
Going all over the world, and just as a city, it's like something else, special
Yeah,
place.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so what was, you got to your brothers. We talked about today. What was you remember your first ADCC? Because I remember your match. You guys had the best match of the tournament. You and Mark Kerr, and I was reading the Gracie magazines and Tatami magazines in those days. Back in those days, we didn't have YouTube. We didn't have live feeds. So we had to like read about it, and you just see Mark Kerr getting frustrated, picking you up, and you figuring it out. What was that first experience for you? And
that's what surviving. That's what surviving. That competition was very special because we was a jiu-jitsu guy training just with gi. Sometimes taking out the top to fight clubs sometimes, but like when there was the dreaming coming true. I was looking myself in those like Enter the Dragon movie, where everybody traveling to go to compete, represent the nationality, represent the sport.
Your dream coming true.
Exactly. And I was the youngest. I was one of the youngest. It was me and Comprido.
What was the first year you went?
The first was 2000.
Wow. Yeah, when Jacare went too, yeah.
Yeah, I was one of the youngest, I think. And I was like, for me, traveling, man, like I never
Abu Dhabi, Middle East, what's going on?
Oh my God, man. It was back in the time, even like Middle East was very like far, bro. Like I remember but I enjoyed the whole time. I enjoy like the long flight because I was like making friends, like jiu-jitsu guys, the oldest guy,
different teams, right?
Bullies on me because I was the youngest, so the jiu-jitsu becoming closer, right? So the community, I think the competition make it not just the jiu-jitsu became closer after that, but also the community of the Brazilians of jiu-jitsu and luta livre also.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of guys from luta livre also. So during the competition, it was like you in the nice hotels. I never been in a nice hotel, like a nice hotel with folders from the competition. I see my picture in the folder. I say, oh my God, man! Like, I never thought I was doing this. And then and sponsor
going from the mats, you had to rinse off.
Yes, they getting money for you. I say, oh my God, like that's nice. Like I was like, I was just like enjoying because I was.
They treated you guys like first class, huh? VIP.
Like they give us all things. Like I remember there was I not really understand because I say my perspective. I was a teenager, right? So I didn't really understand about like what they was doing, but I knew that I was with one. So he was invited for one kind of group. Then you have to wear some like white t-shirts.
Yeah.
And then depending how you perform, so somebody came and said, hey, now you have to wear these blue t-shirts. But every time that you switch t-shirts, you get a bonus. So they give you money because I think they was trading athletes. I don't know what's happening over there.
They're betting, I heard, right? They're betting on you guys.
Yeah. But I knew that
like race horses.
For me, I just want to fight. I don't care, I want to fight. And with Marquero, I think it was nice because
well, you did your weight division, which is the lightest weight division, 65 kilos.
No, right? They didn't let me fight the
6'6". Oh, okay.
No. That is I don't know if even I can talk, but that is
there's a story behind that.
That is a story behind. They say, look, you can fight. We want you invited to fight at 7'7". I say, yeah, but I'm 70 kilo. I want to fight 6'6". No. 6'6", you're not gonna fight. So Shake is pretty close to Royal. I say, really? But 7'7" is a good competition for you, and we pay for you fighting 7'7". I say,
let's go.
I go.
Jacare prepared you, for everything.
I say, look, I go. I don't care. I was 6'6". No, I'm 75. But and that was like my first two competition was 7'7", even when I was lighter. So it was 7 kilos, and I went there. So I fought. I think in the first one I lost for. In the third place, I stopped in the third place. I fought for Feitosa.
Feitosa.
Yeah, and then I heard because my shoulder dislocated my shoulder. So then I remember they dislocated my shoulder, and then I come back, and then the fight's over, they win, massive wins. And then when they start inviting people to fight in the open class, because you put a name, you don't really know.
Yeah.
So you put a name, and then my name was there. You know, they take my name. I think they took my name to give an easy fight for Marker. Because all those years before, always was a Brazilian in the bracket. Always was a Brazilian. And Brazilians was, bro, like, you know, I'm Brazilian. I can say that, you know.
Yeah.
They are very corrupt, bro. Like, you know, they're making fakey fights. They're making fake, a lot of things.
A lot of guys,
That was an unfair, and it was fair at the same time.
Yeah.
Because it was different reality, you know.
Yeah.
And I understood. But
Yeah, like some of the divisions were all like fake matches.
yeah,
right?
because for us was like unite. We want you Brazilian. We want you, you know, like those you know, like Brazil called like the slumdog syndrome. Like you know, like oh, we Brazilian. Like no, we have to come up together. We have to make the country. We have to come up to us the best. So you want to make a really strategy to win. In the division,
all
we was
the
fighting.
divisions, yeah.
We was fighting. But in the open class, I say, hey, we have to win. But at the same time, I understand the organization. They want to not a Brazilian fight against the other Brazilian, because every year was Roberto driving, was Zé Mário, was always a Brazilian fight in the open class finals, the super fights. So Marquer was the guy who show up like and killing everybody.
Smashing machine.
Yes, he just fought before against Fabio Gurgel in the MMA. You know, so he was like the big dude, like who knows what he's doing. You know, and when he take my fight to say, okay, let's make an easy fight to him, and then he go as at least a good start. So they invite me because I don't know why. And when the organization,
the easy fight, maybe, right?
yeah, that's everybody thought, but they don't know how angry am I. You know, they was expecting, and then they came to me and say, "Oh, you're gonna be fighting." I say, "Oh, okay," but I saw there is a lot of other better guys that wasn't invited, and then I asked, I said, "Can I take my name out?" And then I remember even was Murilo Bustamante. Murilo Bustamante can fight. Because Murilo Bustamante against Marquez would be a good fight. You know, have more opportunity than me. And then they say, no. There at least, if you take your name out, the other person is going to be, and he's not a Brazilian. Because remember, I was hurt on my shoulder.
Yeah.
And then I say, okay, if he's not in a Brazilian, okay, now I go. But the reason why, because all the Brazilian has a deal. Everybody who get invited to the open class, we go together, we fight, and we try to win as much possible. We take the budget, the money, we split it in all the Brazilian.
Yeah.
But if I was out, I said, no. Okay, I'll fight. Even when it's injury, I'm okay. I'm good. I'll fight. And then, like, the strategy was, Leo, let he get as tired possible. He has to be tired. You know, like, try to keep him busy, make him work, you know, keep him tired, because his next fight will be Cachorrão. And Cachorrão is going to do the fly armbar, and he's going to surprise him, but he need to get tired. I said, okay, I'll do my best. So the strategy was to pull guard, you know, to make him keep him busy. So, and that's what I did. I pull guard, and then he starts smashing me, bro. Like he would he overhooked my head, overhooked my leg, started to squeeze me. So if one hand he was pushing my head, the other hand was coming from my leg, and he was choking me. You know, I was like because he squeezed me, he was choking me. You know, like I was almost about to tap in the half guard in the bottom. Say, oh my God, man, like I'm not gonna tap it. Then I push his hand to my head, you know, and then he starts squeezing my head.
Just with his hand, his grip.
Just the grip, like squeezing my forehead, my head. And then I say, oh my God, man, I said, better choke. And then I put on my neck again. I was switching, you know. And then that's where I said, man, I cannot play guard. And then I kick him, I get out. And then everybody say, no, because I have points after 5 minutes. no, 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 don't stand up. I said, no, no, I cannot play guard. No, I'm gonna be stand up. And then it was about surviving. About like I remember the movie Rocky Balboa tried to pick the chicken. I was saying, okay, I have to play the chicken, bro. I have to be like fast. I cannot let him grab me. He's grabbing, he's gonna destroy me, you know. And there was like chase the chicken, you know. And that was the strategy. But at the same time, keep him busy.
Yeah.
When I feel he got tired, I went close to him, I touch him, and then like shooting his leg. Like I was like trying to keep his busy as much possible. Works because in the end the fight was draw. So the reality you're supposed to have next round because the fight's over with a 0-0. And then like before they give the overtime, they announce like they flip -1 for me, you know. In the end of the day, they make the decisions, right? So they give -1 for me, and then I lost that fight.
But they gave a prize, right? Like a best match of
we
the
got
tournament.
the best match. Yeah, we had a lot of pictures. That was like like they say, like it's the way you fight is more important than like sometimes what really happens. So that fight was open so much opportunities. So it was such a.
That's one of the things I heard your brother Rico say about that. That's what you taught him. You know?
Yeah.
It's not how you win. It's how you win and how you compete. Not even if you win.
How
it's
you deliver
compete.
it. How you deliver it, jiu-jitsu. So you have to go perform. Just give your best. You know, like that's a.
Even if you lose, you win even just by your performance, and that's a great example.
So that was always our like a mantra, right? So that's and that fight opened up like a lot because it was such a good. I didn't thought it was good. There are funny things that before it starts, I call. I have cumprido everybody kind of in the corner, but I say no. Let me call. I will call someone that can be, you know, like with someone to be in the corner, and then in my corner came. Who was in my corner? Like, oh man, I just forget the name now.
For the first 80, for that match?
For that match, yes. Because he fight, they made me, oh my God, he's a combat announcer. Like he's
Jean?
No. Big guy.
Ricardo? No.
No, I forget right now. But anyways, like he came.
He lived in Abu Dhabi for some time? The MMA fighter?
No. He's a Brazilian.
Yeah.
Tall guy, black guy. Is oh man, what's the name? He's bigger. He used to be combat. Like now he's announced he gonna smash me when I feel if he gonna. Very good. Anyway, like he slapped my face like a couple times because Carson Gracie style. He slapped my face like 2 times, like blah blah blah. And then the referee start calling me Carlos Barreto.
Carlos, of course, yeah.
So he slapped my face like 2-3 times, blah, blah, blah. And then look at me, go. I said, no, I cannot go right now. I was dizzy. I said, the referee called me. I said, no, give me 1 minute. I start dizzy. I said, come on, like nobody hit my face. They were like, you almost knocked me down. His hand like so heavy. Yeah. And then I say, break, I'm coming. Hold on, give me 1 minute to recover. Yeah, but Carlos is super nice. Carlos, be on my corner because you're going to be intimidating. He's big. If something happened, you jump over there. You know, I know if something happened, you're going to be jumping over there. And then he said, of course, yeah.
Those things help, huh? When you have like big brothers on the side ready to.
But it was good because I have all the Brazilians on my corner. That was nice because I could hear Roller, I could hear Jacare, I could hear like all the new generation, old generation, everybody cheering because of Brazil. And that fight was something bring up everybody together. It was really nice.
Yeah, amazing. You know, you won a couple ADCCs, right? And that match, and then I was there. I went this last ADCC, you know, in Vegas, right? And inducted to the Hall of Fame. That was pretty cool, you know.
Yeah, Marquero was there. I saw, I didn't get invited.
Oh no, I'm sorry, not yet. Okay, no, I'm sorry that you were there.
But they create the Hall of Fame, And they brought a lot of athletes. Even
Yeah.
like a Marquette was
Yeah,
super
yeah, yeah.
nice to see
Yeah, yeah,
Marquette
yeah,
over
yeah, yeah,
there.
yeah.
You know, like
You were there though, right? Weren't you in?
I was there in the
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
event,
yeah, yeah.
but I wasn't inducted as a Hall of Fame.
Not yet.
Not yet. One day they're gonna. Okay, let's get to that. Okay, okay. But yeah, ADCC, I had a long history. I fought. My first was in 2000.
Yeah, yeah,
So 2000, 2001, I fought in 7-7 because of the
yeah.
over the
That's what you. That's what you got.
political
That's what
thing they
yeah,
have.
yeah, yeah.
But I think maybe that's why they don't. And that's 2003. I was like doing college, doing something else. Like I was teaching jiu-jitsu, running jiu-jitsu, but I was also in college. So they call my phone. They say, "Hey, it's Abu Dhabi. You gonna fight at DCC?" I say, "I'm not sure because I'm in the finals. Like it's college is taking me so much of my time. I'm still training, but like." 6-6 is no, and I didn't say anything. This I say like I not really know. I say, and then he asked me one question: "Can you beat Hoyle Grace?" I say, "Oh my God!" Like I say, "Man, who? Why? Something's happening. I don't want to say why." I say, "Look, put me in 6-6. I'm gonna beat everyone." And then he said, "Okay, you don't have to do the trials. You're in the 6-6." So I say, "Sign you up at 6-6." That day I back to Rio with my brother to just cut my weight. Because that's what I have to drop my weight. Got to 6'6". I was like always walk around close to 80 kilos. So then I dropped to 6'6", and I don't know what happened, but I'll tell you something. That bracket was the toughest. So they really wants you Hoyle lose, because that side, our side of the bracket was tough. Was me, was Hani Yahya, which was the Brazilian win the trials.
Trials, right?
National trials in Brazil. Was Roller, which is the last champion. Eddie Bravo, you American trials.
Yeah.
So all the trials winner, they put in one side the bracket. So a very tough athlete in this side. The other side also had, but I mean like there are a lot of invitation back in the time. So a lot of like a lot of bigger names was this side, and there was a special for me because one was 6'6" kilos, something that I wanted to do all my life.
It's your weight category, yeah.
Was my weight category. So the other thing was like in Brazil. There's nothing like fighting Brazil, your hometown. I love fighting.
And it was in São Paulo at the time.
Was in São Paulo
yeah.
where I was living.
Yeah, yeah.
So was like I have all my club, all my jiu-jitsu, all my friends. That was such amazing environment, and like the way that the competition run, like was surprising everybody because nobody expect that Holly will lose for Eddie Bravo, and that was impact for everybody. I just hear like I wasn't watching the fight because I was getting ready for Holly. Was in my semi-final.
Yeah.
So I was getting ready, and then I heard like the gymnasium like going crazy, and then I walk over there and I saw Eddie Bravo with his hands up. I say, "Oh my God, what happened?" I come back to my locker room, and then I start putting myself in the situation. So I knew it. Now I have to fight with Eddie Bravo. So I start like that a mix of feelings with exciting, with happiness, with but I have to not like I have to focus. I have to keep focus. Strategy change, focus different one, and then I start like keeping myself focused. And then later came like Hoyle, all his brothers, Helio Grace, everybody came talk to me, and they say, "Leo, please. You have to keep this title in Brazil." That's what they said. And we share some position. He was showing me some position that he been working or get cut. And then I was like working, And then I said, I really appreciate it. I have already a strategy to do, but I'm going to keep my mind on everything you said. That, like I could see how flexible he is. Like I already knew some of kind of his game. And I was already like looking to use more outside pass than inside and
passing
smash.
pass to the other side as well, right?
yeah, sounds like he's comfortable to what you was doing. So I'm planning to do something else. But we have a good conversation. We have a good conversation, and he and it was nice to see. It was a lot of pressure on Helio Grace, everybody over there, and they say, look, yeah, but that's Brazil. That's our competition, our title. We have to keep this title in Brazil. And the funny thing, 6'6" division is the only division that only Brazilian wins until now.
Really?
All other division, that is a different country, but in the 6'6", only Brazilian. Nobody. There no another like a different country. So and that was his last competition for Royler. That was my first on 6'6", and then I'm back in 2005. You know, that was in California. Yeah,
The
since
Long
then,
Beach, yeah.
yeah. So then later, like I did the different ones at 6'6", 7 back in 7'7". The rules change. Yeah.
Wow. What a from the source, you know, or being there at the beginning, going to Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, I think my last one was 2011.
Wow.
2011
Wow.
was
Wow.
my last one.
Wow.
I made the final with, and I made the final. It was 77 kilos. I beat Calazans in the semifinal. Make the final with Marcelo Garcia. Yeah, so it was
77.
That was my last one.
Yeah. Nice, man. Amazing. Congratulations, you know. But
It was good. It was nice.
Yeah.
Very good. Good timing. Good
Yeah.
timing. Good. The competition is really nice. Like the environment is nice.
yeah. We didn't even talk about the gi, you know, because my favorite times was watching your matches with Shaolin and Leo and Marcio Vitosa, and there was always so much rivalry, you know,
Yeah.
with some of those guys, you know.
Yeah. Different challenges.
Yeah.
Feitosa challenged me as he take me for my game plan. I don't want to stalling. I want to go fast, and he knew that he was stronger than me. He wants to hold me. He wants to keep this strategy, and then I was always challenged to fight with him, not just because of his skills, because he's very good black belt, but also like the strongest support he has from the federation. You know, like. And I think this is one of the things that was super challenge for me fight words competition back at the time, because I look back I fought I compete 4 times over there. My first one was 96. I win. The second one that I
black belt
brown
worlds, yeah.
belt,
Brown
brown
belt,
belt
okay.
at 6. 97 I lose to Feitosa. But and then when I look the tape, I see it's a big head as a referee. So it's unfair. So next year I win Feitosa, and then I look the referee. Was a Parrupinha. So then it's somebody impartial. And then later the next one I lose for Royler, and then they'll say, okay, who's the referee? I will check the referee, and then later I check the referee, and it was what is his name? I forgot. I'm terrible with name, but
From Gracie Mata? No.
he's a. They don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways,
But those things are
it was
real, right?
making sense. When I
Those-
look, I say, okay, don't make sense why the decision. Because the fights that I lose in the decision. Then I look, okay, makes sense.
It's tied, yeah. And
But I was proving my point. I don't mind. I don't like the athletes fight the way they want, you know, and the referee make the decision they want to decision. And then like I saw when I see the referee, okay, I got it. I understood now. But and then I fought also, and I lose one of Feitosa, you know, was in the another one too late. Shaolin.
Sheldon, yeah.
Yeah, Shaolin was my biggest challenge, big rival, because he was the one that wants to push the same speed as me. So it was like a speed jiu-jitsu. So it was very challenging because he was the reason that I have to train myself. I have to be training because he was always pushing. Like every battle that we fight, gi and no gi, was always like intense and fast and like a lot of scrambles. A very unpredictable fight.
Right. Yeah, I remember those matches. There, so put the whole stadium watching. Exciting, always. Everybody on their feet.
Yeah, Yeah, and I think that's what you need. Like I think every athlete, every competitor,
Your rivals make
a rival to escalate the level of jiu-jitsu. Otherwise, like when you don't have any more rivalry, that's when then you stop.
like the Muhammad Ali and all these guys, right? The opponents, yeah.
Yeah, I think that you start losing. You start losing goals. You know,
Motivation, yeah.
motivations. Yeah, so then it start being like So rival give you like a
Yeah.
motivation to do what you don't want to do.
Yeah. Saul Romero said that the Gracie Baja guys back in the day, they brought out the best in him. Yeah. And it's interesting to see like the adult divisions, everybody's like, very, very like tense, right? But in the master divisions, everybody realizes that they're so thankful because those guys, you realize now, those guys brought out the best in you, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, and then you say like that. This generation, Saulo, we came as the same generation, right? So he was facing like a lot of older generation.
Yeah.
There was very respectful. The same time I competed with Hoyle, so he fought with Fabio Gurgel.
Yeah.
So a lot of generation back the time used to cross like multiple generation.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah.
So that's
Especially in those early days, those early worlds, right?
yeah, yeah. So that we see a lot of like different style mixing with the style being different, like changing a lot. The speed of the divisions, how fast they became, like the divisions became.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what a time, huh? Tijuca Tennis Club to the U.S.
Yes, yes.
The referees wearing suits and from the
Yeah, today, I think it was nice. I think America give a perspective that jiu-jitsu need. You know, like I think if it wasn't American, I think the jiu-jitsu you're gonna be at the same. It would be just a martial arts, like just a. You know, we make I think what the federation with the American culture and did was they sports lies the
make a
the
professional,
street
organized.
fight.
Yeah.
We have a street fight that became a martial art. We have a fight club that became a family competition.
Yeah.
So nowadays we have a competition with 10,000 athletes. Everybody fighting the bracket and the sides, like before. So they pretty make a pretty good job. And the reason for that was the Americans' way to see the perspective that they bring to U.S. So U.S., like brought us for the jiu-jitsu community, like not just the opportunities to be traveling, but also to organize what it used to.
Better, yeah.
That's what we have. I think was the best decision that they could make.
Like we would go to Brazil and like Yuka Nakai would come from Japan and people get robbed too going to the tournament.
Yeah, that we say like the culture would say over there. When you're there, they say, "Oh, look, make sure you have a T-shirt like a Checkmat T-shirts, right? Because wherever you're going, like first they know like okay, jiu-jitsu fighter.
Yeah.
Also like they know most of all the jiu-jitsu school they have a community service inside, so they always respect. So they're gonna be thinking twice if somebody gonna do something.
We got robbed by the police one time too.
Oh
We got
my God, that's bad.
It's
embarrassing. Yeah, unfortunately.
They said we had a car, so I had a license plate that said São Paulo, and so they pulled us over, and then they saw we were jiu-jitsu guys too, and then they were like more like nicer, right? But still, it's like, oh man.
Unfortunately, like that is
part of the journey, and that's what makes it like Brazilian jiu-jitsu and like the culture and the way it is. It's beautiful.
Yeah. At the same time, like it's part of the culture, but it make it jiu-jitsu.
Like people chanting, like a soccer stadium. Like, man, come on.
Yeah.
There's not a price for that,
Yes.
The Tereré matches.
Yeah, like we can.
Janssen at this last
all the
year.
Drums.
Yeah.
We can bring the drums.
Flags,
flags. Yes. That's. I remember like the first time that we, because we do a lot of parties in the inside the word Checkmat, man. I think we are the favela guys in the because we brought loud. break champagne, we put papers, we do. Rah. We only take no flags and no drums because they don't let us take it, right? So it's not allowed. But we almost there, like and we is very loud, like people like cheering. They very like passionate to what we do. That's the nice. I remember when every time I saw like I can see like the security guard, everybody like scary, and then I go always talk. They say, look, I remember the happened when it was a Bochecha fighting with Rodolfo. There was a GF team was very close to us, and then we was loud. The GF team was loud, both of them playing music, challenge each other, and then like I can see like the intensity. Everybody can feel the intensity.
Security guard.
And the security guard was scary, and then I could say, hey, look, we're not hooligans. There's no way. Everybody they cheering this way, no, but there's no fight. You're not gonna see a fight, so don't worry. Nothing gonna happen. And then I can feel he's calming down, but he say, I don't believe. I never seen people. I see this in maybe in the hooligans in plays football, or soccer. They I say, no, you're not gonna see this here. So they'll fight over there, not outside. All respect.
Yeah.
But we loud.
Yeah.
They are loud, so that scares.
Buchecha, how many times did he win the worlds?
14,
Yeah.
13, because he gave one for
Leo, yeah. How did it feel to have the most winningest from your lineage?
Yeah, having people like him on the mat, it's like it's good, it's responsible because like you want to keep him, you want to keep his performance, right? So you have to figure out, find what the motivation. You have to keep him. But the good thing is like he's a very disciplined guy. Was not hard to keep him focused. He was very disciplined, even when he was off season. So and a very good to have as an example in the gym because he's very accessible guy. He's the guy who
down to earth, right?
13 times world champion. He put his gi. He show up on time, put his gi, tie the belt. He jump on the mat. He shake everybody's hand. And it's easy to show to the white belts at the beginning. Say, look, that's the respect that you expect. You show up on the mat, you bound, you shake hands with the instructor, you talk for the other, you respect. Doesn't matter how big you are, how strong you are, how much medals you have. You're still respecting the others. You're still respecting others. So that's so it's a very good example to be pointed, to be like it's a blueprint for the athletes that you want, the personality you want in the mat. It's good. It's good. It's a good ambassador for the jiu-jitsu. It's a good ambassador for my school. Yeah, for the champion.
Just furthering that you've been teaching since the early '90s. How old are you when you started helping Jacare in his gym?
Was 17, purple belt. 17.
Yeah. So for so many years, and now like what are the top things that you want to give to your students? What are the top things from all levels, from white belt to black belt? What are the top things that you think about that you want your students to get out of jiu-jitsu, not just even competition, but just in life?
Yeah, I always compare the jiu-jitsu as a life perspective. I think because I not really know the reason they brought those athletes or the student to me, right? So, but I know like that a reason why they wants to be there, and I know that jiu-jitsu is it's a situation that can help you to figure out a lot of things that are in your life, So, like because of all the resilience, like that you're gonna be learning. Every day you're gonna win, you're gonna lose. Every day you're gonna find someone better than you, and consistently it's gonna give you, some kind of understanding about like the martial arts, about like all the aspect that you learn. We're gonna it's gonna prepare you for the life. So even as a businessman or as a high level competitor, like you don't wanna get, for everybody, you don't want to get smashed on the mat, but you will. So the only thing you can do is spend time training, and like resilience, no matter what. So people are gonna smash you. So you have to get through this. So you must to spend time. You must to be disciplined. Some days will be sunny, some days will be dark, and you have to go to the academy. You know,
Show up.
yeah,
Just
and
go.
like it's not like a sprint; it's a marathon. Like it's a run. It's a So that's every day. And that's the way to see. You see the process. Don't make one goal through jiu-jitsu, because when you achieve that goal, maybe you quit, or maybe if you don't achieve it, you're gonna be disappointed, and you frustrate and stop. But learn how to enjoy the process and see the process as a self-development. So I push to their mentality more like as a mental and spiritual than like physically.
What are some we talked a few of the great moments, what are some moments that you're just really grateful for, and that just were very important for you in your career?
In jiu-jitsu, I think the times that my team or break, or when I have like very close people that are that are left, I think that was the moment that I was it's like I learned so much about ourselves. You learn so much about like what are we doing, right? So we had like I think like we came as at the school, and then we was Alliance, and
Right,
then we
right.
came as a Braza,
ask you about
and
that.
then I went at a Checkmat, and then like the first student that left your school, or the first person close to you that leave, only hurts you if the person is really close to you. You don't get mad if you lose a student. You get mad if you lose a friend. So, and like the first frustration, was when those closest people that you invest so much, you put a lot of love and things to taking care, and when they choose different way to go, you have two option. It's accept or don't accept. Like I'll always accept and try to understand why people see different things, and they're no wrong with that. But I was pretty confident about what are we doing, and that was the more important. So to not changing myself for those frustrations, for those situations that happening. So actually, I was happy that some of this stuff was happening, because also like we was learning so much during those situations, how much like the people who also stay also was like more engaged, and see the reason why we're doing what we're doing. That and then like also model your goals, right? So was a different goals as Alliance has one was a Alliance was created to be the best competition team. Braza, like we had the same feeling. We just that he wants to be under control, the same we was before. He wants to be freedom to choose what to compete, and more freedom as a professor.
Where to compete?
Yes, because that was Alliance was very dictated about what we
Controlling, yeah.
compete, controlling. Not as Alliance, but it was some of the leadership inside the Alliance. Alliance was open, but that the managing like some leaderships was to say no, it's not allowed. So but the creation of Alliance was okay. Let's build the best competition team. So when it became a Braza, we came with the same thing. We want to be the best competition team, you know. And then when I opened Checkmat, I say no, I'm tired. I don't want to be the best competition team. I wanna be the community that people trust each other. I wanna be in the jiu-jitsu that we care about. We care about others. It's
People.
not. Yes, it's about being compassion. It's about being empathy. It's about like, it's not like you go to the academy to learn jiu-jitsu. Not about to go to school to learn, but it's like go to jiu-jitsu to teach what you know. Because if you're in the class with 40 people, everybody wants to learn from one professor. It'll be one professor teach from 40 people. But if 40 people go to the academy with the desire to teach, to help others, to teach what he knows, we're gonna be 41 person teaching for 41 person. Everybody gonna learn more. So the mentality with the checkmat, and before I didn't have, like, I was young. I didn't know what kind of leadership I want to be. I just know that I was frustrated with the teams and the leadership that we had, you know. And then I knew it that, okay, I have to do something different. I didn't know about it. So, and I have to know what to model. I didn't have all the school or somebody that I can say, oh, I'll copy that model because that's the leadership that I want to copy. So, and I always want to struggle in my life. I was back to read the Bible to see things that was my secret book. There always I find reasons for my questions that maybe I wasn't share. Question because maybe because people doesn't have the answer. I always find those answers in the Bible. And then when I was looking for what kind of leadership I want to be, or the direction that I want to go, so I find in how the Bible, how like they come up with the disciples to spread the gospel. So the strategy to how to treat each other, how to solve, how to help each other, how to grow, how to even like, and that's the funny because the way the gospel was spread and the church used nowadays are the same way. It's very similar as the Jiu-Jitsu does. We have athletes, the people who just live as making seminars, which is like missionaries just go to spread the gospel. We have very good professors. They know how to teach kids. They know how to teach adults. They know how, like, and we have like in the church, you're gonna find like a ministry that are just for the kids, ministry for the adults, ministry for different ministry. But you have a pastor who's take care and engaged to take care of the people in the community.
Yeah.
It's the same. What's the difference between you as a professor? You're responsible for the values that you put in your gym. When you tell that your gym is a loyalty, when you tell that your gym is honor, when you tell that your gym have respect, you protect this. And you have to protect the people that are around there. Somebody struggling, you have to go talk to them. So that's not different between the pastor. We preach, but in different levels. Preaching jiu-jitsu, preaching the gospel. But that was the model, that the style that I was. And then and the funny thing is this, even like those issues that we're facing, gossip in the academy, or school sometimes had a problem with people fighting, people disagreeing, or like a lot of different issues inside the gym, or the team. If you go to that's the fun. If you go to the letters that Paul wrote to the different churches, he was fixing all those kind of problems that
the Pope. What did you say?
Paul, the Apple.
Paul.
Paul. He write a lot of like Corinthians, Ephesians, like a lot of letters for church. So those letters is rich in the way that they must behave, or how control behave of the people. And then when you read, I promise, it's going to answer a lot of things that you face in your school. Sometimes we don't know how to deal with it because some people talk in the academy or like some situation. And then now you have very clear idea to how to do it. And that's what's guided me, because I was making a lot of sense. And that was the way that I used the checkmat as a spine dorsal for the team, to be those values over the way the gospel was spread, the way that we're gonna be, like respecting and empathy, like taking care of the others.
Yeah.
So that's the way.
Family.
Yes. So, and that was the way that I spread. That's the checkmat became like we are biggest number. We have over 100 affiliations in U.S., over 300 in Brazil. I have 200 between Asian and Europe, and like but even when we're so big, we're very unite and close.
That's amazing. That's it. It's a good vibe, and then just last year at the Worlds, and just the way people come together for one of the champions to perform. It's an old school, and it's like you're representing. They're really representing.
Yeah, and you don't lose your personality. You keep in performance. You keep in tough. You wants to fight, because my thing is like, be a world champion as a team. We always in the top 3. We was a world champion 2021. So it's a consequence over the individual works. But individual work is a consequence about like the team work, right?
Yeah.
So
Culture.
yeah. So and the more I focus on my partner, it's more he will perform. And more I help him, it's more also people gonna be the same mentality people who wants to help me. So it's a one pushing the other, to perform.
Yeah. I wanted to go back in time, and your dad, was always worked hard. The example of hard work, right? How did he feel about when he started to see your success in jiu-jitsu?
He I can see he's a very quiet man,
Uh-huh.
but I can see he in peace, I think today I have kids. I think better than happen something with you, it's the good thing that happens to your kids, never, nothing satisfies more a father when they see their kids happy, health, I love to see, especially when my kids are sleeping, I can see only people in peace can sleep. When I see my kids sleeping, it's like, okay, I know his health. And I think that's my father situation right now. So he lives with us in California.
Ah,
he lives with
amazing.
my brother right now.
Okay. Up north?
Up north, yes. So and the funny thing because when he retired, he went to live in a countryside after he retired with my mom. And me and my young brother was already living here. My brother Rico was in Rio de Janeiro and Portugal. So then my father came to visit us, and story short. So we find out he has a cancer, lung cancer, stage 4.
Lung.
Lung cancer, stage 4. So he lost his voice. It was very tough. We found a treatment for him here in the U.S. So the expectation of his life was like 6 months. So it's been 5 years. So he's
Wow.
cancer free now.
Wow.
So the doctor was pretty bad.
Is the warrior spirit, huh?
Was
In your genes.
yeah, like was a miracle, man. Was a miracle because see what we saw. We sent to different doctors. Everybody was having the same point, and so he came using just immunotherapy, and then later on that small and they disappear, and he's still alive like for 5 years right now, and like. But he, that was what I want to say is when he came here, he moved here. So he never, like I said, he never went really see us training. He never was the guy who has the time to take me to the academy. He went to a couple competition, but he never really see tournaments. So one day it was me and my brother, my young brother Leandro. He's taller than me. So Leandro is he never compete like as a black belt, world competition, all those, but he was a very talented. He win a lot of until purple, brown belt. That when he stops, he had kids earlier. Then he went to AKA. He training Khabib. He was training ADCC Champion, AKA.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he was there. So we was training jiu-jitsu, and we noticed that my father was around looking. And whatever we roll around the mats, my father was walking close to us and checking what's going on. And then my brother say, "Hey, Leo, did you notice that is looking funny, weird?" I said, "Do you know why? He never saw we training." I say, "What?" I say, "Yeah, he never saw we training." And then when we finish, we walk outside the mat. My father came and he talked to my brother. My brother taller than me. I say, "Leandro, oh, you feel embarrassed? Leo, that size, he smash you." And then we start laughing. I say, "Dad, you never see, of course, like I'm smashing. I'm the oldest. You never see we training?" And then that's when you realize, no, he never saw we training, And then it was fun because, like I said, like before when I was a kid, two things that connect us was kung fu movies and fishing. So it was fishing every night. But jiu-jitsu was nothing that connect us. So when he moved here, it was something that connect. So then he was like going to the academy, watch we training, watch we teach, see the seminar. My mom, she learned how to use Facebook or those social media just to see how much that. And then she was surprised. Oh, I didn't know you guys. Everybody like you guys. I didn't know you
They're
guys.
famous.
You guys. I didn't know. I say, they was like, okay, mom, yeah, you didn't know. So my mom learned how to use this media, social media, and then she was nice because she find out this. They didn't know how big we was in the sport. So it was nice because it was something that it's like was his sacrifice was worth it, right? So I think that's the feeling he has today to see like all his three sons, like in good performance, good, living their life, having kids, and we all happy in health. So, and that's I think that's
He's proud.
worth it. Yeah, he's proud.
He's proud, and when he did good as a dad, did okay.
Yes,
Right?
yes, yes. And I just hope sometimes that's what I say, man, I want to have the same feeling for my kid. Because look, my kids doesn't know what they want to do. 14, 15, it's teenager. The one that want to choke them every day. But
Your kids are teenagers?
My kids are 14 and 15.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have 15 and 16.
Oh, 1 year apart too?
Yeah.
Yeah, my one boy, one girl.
Okay.
So, but it's amazing. I can complain.
Yeah.
They are such a love like kids,
God
and
bless.
So
God
they
bless.
are, and I like and then and like that that's why I say like I just hope I have the same feeling. The way that my father, I can see it through his eyes. I wanted like that's the eyes that I want to see, look to my kids later.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
Amazing. I love real inspiration from early days to now you're in America. Now different stage, but every stage, from this last Worlds to to you talking about the early days.
Yeah, no, thanks to help to share because sometimes like I think everybody has like something to great overcome experience, right? Sometimes we don't really know, and sometimes those is opportunity to share and make this possible. It's nice to be, and I'm very, appreciate like the timing, also like to be here, to invitation to share this part of the story, and like also like like I say, like jiu-jitsu is so blessed sport, and even more because to be here in the U.S. like changes everything. So like like jiu-jitsu in U.S. was the good culture, good culture. The culture of American culture with the jiu-jitsu was a very good combination. And today my life, not just my life, I was maybe I was one of the first of my group of friends, but I saw so many lives are changing because of this combination. And be able to share it's really important because sometimes you don't know how powerful is the sport, is the country, and you just like into automatic lifestyle during the day, so that's.
But the impact you have on so many people on different levels.
Yeah, but we don't have like access like what are you doing with podcast and sharing, so we not really know is the shake in the life that sometimes we need during special Mondays, because easy to like like I used to say, use the word that they say in the church, they say like we know the Christians not Sundays, but we know they're Mondays. I used to tell the same thing about the athletes. So we know, the jiu-jitsu athletes, we know Monday after the competition. Yeah, but we have like
who's going to be there after the competition? Who's going to be there on the Monday?
Yeah, so like but those are good, very good, like to be able to share and like sometimes a reality shock that we got during the week, during the day that make us, oh man, like the jiu-jitsu is important to us, and sometimes we not just don't know.
Thank you, Professor Mestre. It's like I said, every stage it's been an inspiration and added value to my life, and motivated me on so many different levels. So it's a huge honor, really, to get to have the opportunity to talk to you. So thank you so much for, with our good friend John, Wano, putting us together.
Yes. Joe's is a unique
Shout out to
guy.
him.
Yeah.
I love this guy. He saved my life.
Oh, it's recording. You,
Fine. I tell the whole world you saved my life. Anything. I'll jump in front of it.
yeah. Oh, see, like that's. You don't have to. Don't worry. I'm never gonna tell you to do this. Yeah, no, it's nice. It's good to be like let's say like how the jiu-jitsu connect together.
Yeah.
John was an angel that I met a long time ago, and then like different reason like just like apart like life takes sometimes different change, but like real friends or really like real feelings never go away.
That's
So
it.
the moment that I saw it again, I say, oh man, like I was missing you a lot, and I was like I could see it was the reciprocal, the same thing that I was saying. Then we come up together again, and then every week he go over there
Love it.
to challenge me. You know, he got
Take
a
it
free
easy, John.
he
Take
got
it
a free
easy.
massage.
Dirty, man.
Take it easy, man.
He scratched me with his watch. He scratched me with his watch. Everyone say, why are you using the watch, bro?
Everybody's looking at us and going, man, you guys are dirty. No, I'm dirty because I'm older. He's
Okay.
better because 100.
That's why I don't judge, because I know I'm gonna be old and maybe I'm gonna be training with your watch too. You know? Okay, you wanna smash me? Okay, but I'm gonna scratch your face on my watch. That's why I don't judge. I accept, but I'm blessed to have him in my life too.
Any last thoughts? Any, maybe like legacy that you wanna.
No, I think I want to say like thank you so much, for what you're doing today, and like, like how important it is. It's for me. I think for the whole community. If I didn't know before, now like I'm going to start following, watching, and looking. I already saw that a lot of guys that was in this like sometimes I'm very bad in the social media, but podcast is something that I really like. So like hook me and take my attention, and especially when you have like a long flight or long drivings, and then sometimes it's good. So I was hearing some, and I'll be a bigger follower of your job or work. Is like I said, it's like a legacy. It's not just in jiu-jitsu, but also like there are different things that you do, and that's amazing. So I want to see more guys coming here sharing, like open their heart or sharing them more things. Cause we always learn.
Yeah.
So thanks so much for what you're doing.
Thank you.
Thanks.
It was